What it do? Eagles universe, nation, galaxy, all that good stuff. It's what we call another Wednesday night, which means we flying high again on the Eagles Elite podcast, where we always hashtag be elite. So another week, more signings, more things to talk about regarding our NFC champion, Philadelphia Eagles. Didn't quite get everything done last year, but guess what? Let's just light some fire for this year. So with that being said, it's time to bring the crew into the building. Wyatt, what it do, man? What's going on with you today?
What is happening, Eagles Nation? I'm just ready to talk some Eagles football. We're still going through this off season. Not too much happening over the past week, but I'm excited to get into it.
For sure, for sure, for sure. And the incomparable Eagles diva, what it do?
What's going on, Bird Game Nation? Family? Friends? What's happening?
There's only one way to get this thing started off right. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into that. Let's get it.
The kick is away, and the kick is it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
No better way to start an episode. No better way.
Yes, sir.
Got our first coming of the night. Philly, Philly, what it do? Philly, Philly, what's going on?
Philly.
What's going
Thanks for
on?
joining in. Appreciate you hopping on last night to talk wrestling with us. Definitely a good time. All right. So why was not with us last week? So we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna talk about any breaking news that's happened since the last time Wyatt was with us, and Wyatt, me and Eagles Diva, along with Big AC, who was able to hop on and talk Eagles with us last week.
That's what's up.
We're just going to talk with you about all the free agent signings that's happened in the past 2 weeks as well, so that you can give us your opinions as well as we can just, any secondary thoughts that we might have missed last week that we have on those signings. So, why, you are our breaking news guy, so talk to us, man. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Darius Slay, as everybody knows, came back. He signed like a 2-year extension with the team. We all thought he was pretty much a goner for sure over the past couple weeks with, with all the, Twitter posts and, rumors that were going around. But, how he was able to make it happen with the cap. And, of course, with CJ not coming back, everything and helped as far as money-wise. But, I mean, he did kind of have a slower end of the season. He didn't look like himself. So, I mean, hopefully he can get back to that. Maybe he was dealing with a nagging injury. We don't really know. Hopefully he can continue a high level of play like we have seen from him though these past couple of years. I think it's a great signing, especially keeping Bradbury. That's still a top duo, not just in the division, but also in the conference. I would think.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, you hit on the nail, man. CJ GJ not re-signing was essentially the reason why that happened. I actually saw a quote from Howie where he basically just said, like, look, man, it's like this. We had talked to CJ GJ earlier in the offseason. We tried to work out a contract. He didn't like the terms of what we were offering, so we let him know that, hey, if we don't come to a decision, we're moving on. We didn't come to a decision. They pivoted, re-signed Slay, as well as brought back, Bradbury. He was who they were focusing on, but hey, there was a window where they were willing to negotiate. He let it get outside of that window. Then when he got a deal, he came back and said, hey, well, I got this deal. So we were like, hey, man, we already, pivoted. We already got other things moving. So, hey, he's a little salty about it. We're getting some, hate from him and all that good stuff. But guess what? You had the opportunity. You chose not to take it. The outcome's the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a business. You're going to have some of these hard decisions. Not every off season, but most off seasons, I feel like you're going to lose one or a couple of different really good players.
Yeah, he's a guy we would have wanted to keep if we could have, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Eagles Diva, you got anything you want to add to this particular piece of the conversation?
No, I think I spoke my piece about that dude last week. We done moved on the week. We done signed different people in his position. So I don't really want to talk about that clown no more because he keep talking.
Yeah, and deleting.
Yeah.
He talking
Just
and deleting.
a bunch of buffoonery.
Tweetery and deletery.
Yeah.
Seems to be his
buffoonery.
action.
And buffoonery.
And you know what's so funny about it, y'all? I mean, you got the Eagle name all in your mouth. You had the chance to be here, bro. What happened was you thought that you was just gonna come back or whatever offer, like match this, and we was gonna be like, okay. You had your shot. You ain't take advantage of it. It is what it is. Ain't no need to be salty, bro. We've had a lot of people leave, a lot of turnover. But a lot of the guys that left, they classically left. They doing their thing wherever they at. They focus on their new teams. But you got a couple of guys a little bit more salty, really wanted to stay. But the thing is, you didn't want to take financially what it was going to take for us to fit you under the cap. You got to pay Hurts. A lot of guys are not going to get paid the next couple of years because that money's going to be reallocated. It is what it is. It's the nature of football, but we got a franchise QB. That's the most important piece to winning.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, with him leaving, of course, you have Reed Blankenship, who, I mean, Sirianni's still praising him over the past couple of days with the interviews and everything going on. So it seems like he's going to be stepping into that starting role. And also with the other addition that we have with the signing of Terrell Edmonds, who played with Pittsburgh, I believe, for like 5 seasons, that he played every single snap that he could. So, I mean, I that's not a bad pickup to have at all. I mean, it's not a sexy pickup because, I mean, CJGJ, going off of what he had last year, like it's hard to have anybody go out and get like 7 picks. But I mean, CJGJ wasn't doing that even on the Saints. So, I mean, he was also behind a great line and a great defense that helped as well. So who knows? Terrell Edmonds could be very solid on this defense, depending on what it looks like on the new DC. But as far as I've seen from like his stats and stuff and like PFF grades, I mean, I know you can only see so much for that sort of thing, but he seems like a very solid pickup for us.
For sure. So Philly said she doesn't know about us, but she's missing football Sundays. Oh, definitely Sundays don't feel the same. I mean, basketball's okay, but it just doesn't give you that same. It's just not the same. Yeah, it's just not the same. 100%. So one of the things I want to hop and throw in while I'm thinking about it right now is I keep hearing Nick Sirianni praise Trey Sermon. He runs great, he cuts great, he does all this. I'm going to ask y'all first before I say what I have to say. If you have so many positive things to say about Trey Sermon, why in God's green earth is he not on the field? Eagles Diva, can you help me understand this? Maybe I'm missing something.
I mean, I've been trying to figure it out for a very long time, especially when Miles had the knee injury and basically a lot of his production went down. I wasn't understanding why we wasn't trying Trey in those moments to see if he could get a little better, you know what I'm saying, as far as yardage, just to see what he got. I mean, he's a big boy. He knows how to run. So I'm really not sure why they never activated Trey Sermon to be the third running back, especially if you didn't feel like Miles was going to produce. Because he probably could have won a Super Bowl. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, nobody knows. And it's like if the head coach loves a player like that, you think he would, put a word in, try to get him some more time or some reps in there. I can't imagine this is all on like the running backs coaches or anything keeping him out. But I don't know. It's very weird. I mean, this on the podcast, we've all been talking about bringing him up to the active roster the whole season. Like, I don't understand it. Like, he brings something different than what these other running backs that are very similar in terms of play style have. So, I mean, why not incorporate him in there, especially like through the back half of the season when you're trying to keep guys relatively more healthy? Why wouldn't you even have him in there to kind of try to compete or at least see what he can do on like a big stage or something? It doesn't make any sense.
Nick Sirianni. What in fuck are you doing? What is your ass thinking? This is bull split. We lost the mother fledgling Super Bowl because you didn't have the testicular fortitude to put in a big back in situations where we needed it. Roster moves, head coach responsibility. My problem is, you know that we needed a big back. We won a Super Bowl because we had that guy that could bust through there and get you 3, 4, 5 yards on tough plays. You claim that we have the guy on the roster, but you don't want to play him. You don't activate him for the Super Bowl, right? But he's all this great weapon. He's all this, he's all this, he's all that, but he can't get on the field.
And then you go out and pick up Rashad Penny.
That's bull split, is what it is. And like Wyatt said, then you go out and pick up a running back, very cheap salary. So that's the salary is not even an issue, but we're going back to 4 backs. Are you going to play Trey Sermon or not? That's the question. Ty Dolla Sign on you, all on your gas. Are you going to play him or not? Because I need to see Trey Sermon get the field or get out the building. I don't need to hear how great he is while he never plays. If he's so good, we need him on the field. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that do make it an active roster if we let him go somewhere. Like,
thing.
I don't think he's going to be a starter, but I think he's going to be making a roster spot somewhere as a backup or something.
He should. King DV, what's up, my guy?
What's up, King DV?
But yeah, just crazy, yo. It's just crazy. So I just wanted to slide in, and I know you were still going over your, the news and everything. I just had to slide it because I couldn't hold it any longer.
No, it makes perfect sense. I did see that though.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other couple things was like the safety pickup and the CB pickup. Former Bucks and Saints safety Justin Evans, both of these, and CB Greedy Williams from the Browns. I mean, I feel like they were mostly depth signings at this point. I mean, they're camp bodies. Who knows if they will make the active roster, come the actual training camp or the season. I mean, I think as far as Greedy Williams, I think he definitely has potential with that one staying and making the active roster. I'm not sure about the other dude as much. And Nicholas Morrow, I think he has potential. He has a high ceiling, but I mean, he just has to stay healthy.
So I have to look at the list. But I know one of the guys that we got, it may have been Morrow. I have to look at the list to remember. Had over 100 tackles last year. Had a really great
that was
season.
Morrow.
Right.
He missed previous 2 seasons due to injury.
So I mean, just having that should be helpful. But yeah,
I could see him making the roster though, especially with the depth we have at linebacker.
But then King DV says he hope Trey gets playing time in Boston, can do kickoffs.
Yeah,
I kind of feel that I would rather have Boston Scott be our kick returner than the trash we had back there last year. And then we can play him at running back some as well. But yeah, I would like for him to kind of hold that role for us because I think he's a sure-handed guy back there. He has speed, and he'd be successful in that role, and it would be a big portion of the team. And it's a dual spots. You could have him as a kick returner, and he still can play some running back. So I definitely agree with King DV on that 3,000%.
I think we talked about it before. Like, why wouldn't they try like Devin Allen at kickoff return or something?
I don't want any more people who don't have experience. Give me somebody back there who can catch the ball and who knows how to run in the NFL. I don't want no more of these guys just fresh off the banana boat. They don't even know how to play yet. No, you don't need to be on kick returns. We good. We good. Garbage special teams needs to improve dramatically this season.
That's a banana boat.
Hey, listen.
I don't know how Kobe didn't leave in like a body bag one of them games. It seemed like every single game, every time he caught that ball, he was getting wrecked. He's getting destroyed.
That's what I'm saying.
He's too timid.
Yeah.
He's really timid. If y'all notice, like he'll stop and he'll juke, and then that's by the time he done all that, he done got tackled.
Yeah. I mean, it's a step up from Reagor, who was like running backwards, it seemed like on most kick returns. But you got to go somewhere. You got to go forward, man. Don't be juking.
That name still just it still just does something deep down. It unlocks some darkness.
He who must not be named.
I feel like because it's we only got it. We got less than an hour. That could be a 3 or 4 hour thing right by itself. So I'm not even gonna start on that.
Straight up.
But yeah, man, I love the signings that we've had. I think like an overall thing, we've done very well to just replenish the team.
Yeah.
Um, we have, of course, the draft coming, right? So we're gonna do more. We're not in any way, shape, or form finished with what the Philadelphia Eagles are gonna do. So
Hmm.
no concerns there. Not worried. I know that the changes are coming. So, question that I have for both of you: of the free agents that we signed, it doesn't necessarily have to be a player. It could be a player. It could be a position. Um, what do you feel has been the most beneficial? And it can be re-signings, people that were not under contract at the end of the season that are now on the Eagles now. Who do you think is like your positive move that we made?
You can go first, Steve, if you want.
I think getting Rashad Penny, replacing Miles with somebody better because I think we've always needed that big fullback running back to just break through and run and bulldoze. You know what I'm saying, through the team. And so I think that was a very good pickup, as well as just replacing the cornerback slots with the two people that we got, and then the safety spot. So really, to me, honestly, I like majority of the signings. I felt like we were able to replace what we lost. I am happy about Slay. I know some people wasn't, but I feel like Slay is a big key part of that defense. I feel like that is a reason why CJ was able to be as good as he was with the Eagles is just by Slay's leadership. Like Slay has been in the game for a very long time. We know how Slay do. We see it in Detroit. We see it in Philadelphia. Yeah, he might have fell off, at the end of the second season or the second half of the season. Numbers fell a little bit. It seemed like he was getting burned a little bit and slacking. But the amount of experience and leadership that he has brings a lot to that defense. Kind of in a Brian Dawkins kind of way, not as rough and tough, but a lot of people respect Slay, and so I think that is another reason why our defense has been as good as it has been is because of his leadership. So I'm extremely happy about that. I love Kelsey. I'm glad that he was re-signed because Kelsey is a big dude and he does, protect Jalen and besides sometimes dropping the ball. But I think that was a really good sign instead of having to replace, those holes on top of the defense holes. And then bringing Lane Johnson back, like, why would you not? Lane has not allowed a tackle in 2 years? And that's really important for your quarterback. So really happy about Lane. Love Fletch. Didn't like that dang on blouse he had on Super Bowl. I think that's another reason why we lost.
Had a bad feeling as soon as I saw that outfit.
I know it was it right then. If Fletch is coming out with the dang on blouse on, we all in trouble. Y'all just know next year he cannot wear that. But
And not just a blouse; it was a grandma blouse.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't have like a brooch or some kind of pin
Right.
there.
Right.
And some pearls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad to see Cox all in your face again this year. Cox all in your face. Y'all get ready.
So King DV says Bradbury and Slay pivoting from CJ nonsense was big.
Yeah.
Bradbury got looks. So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably my biggest like free agency signing is keeping Bradbury because I don't think any of us really expected him to return to the Eagles. We expected him to go get the bag somewhere else, but him coming back and signing a somewhat team friendly deal to just stay with us and keep that core and that duo him and Slay, I think that's going to be huge for us. And I mean, it definitely softens the blow of losing CJ as well as picking up like Terrell Edmonds as well. I think he's going to be a great pickup for us. But yeah, Bradbury, great signing.
So King DV agrees with you. Underrated signing is Edmonds. Got the D line stocked again in the draft. We're good. Not like last year though. So here's what I think we're gonna do. Here's my thoughts so far. I like BG and Fletch coming back. I definitely love the Edmonds signing. He's not the same player as guys that left, but that's okay because we have a new coordinator now, so we can run a little bit of a different system. We can hopefully the defensive coordinator we have coming in is going to take the strengths of the team, the strengths of the players, and use those in the system versus just taking square pieces and put them in round pegs. So hopefully we get that. If we get that, we're going to be better than we were last year defensively. I think we won't. We may not be as talented from top to bottom, but I think utilizing the strengths of the players will be done a lot more. The reason why I could not stand Jonathan Gannon is I saw him take a bunch of guys that were some of the best talent that we've had in Philadelphia in a long time at several key positions on defense and use them like they were scripts. And they had to use their own individual talents and their intelligence to make plays that they should have been put in positions to make by their defensive coordinator. So I think just addition by attrition, Jonathan Gannon being gone, whoever comes in, even if you're overly aggressive, just be aggressive. Don't sit back in the zone and give everybody 5 yards all game.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
And then when you do play, don't play soft cover two. That is the worst defense ever. That's worse than the regular soft zone. Mm-hmm. So it's just use the strengths, utilize what we have. I agree it's not going to be on paper the same, but it's all about heart, mentality, and leadership. Important piece, leadership. Cox, Graham, Johnson, of course, like Eagle Diva said, got the extension. They gave us a lot of relief for this year, but we have him now through 2026. So that's going to be big. As far as we know that Kelsey, we gotta realize this is probably his last run. This might be Fletcher's last run too.
Yeah.
So this is not a year we want to waste. I think the draft. I think free agency is still not done for us. I don't think any more big names, but I think we're going to be sneaky involved in possibly getting a guard to replace Samalu. I know everybody wants to put in Jason Kelsey's future replacement there, but do we really want that, or do we want him to continue to develop on being a better center so when he has to take over next year, he's ready? Mm-hmm. I know what I want, but I'm not part of the team. Wish I was, but I'm not. I think we also can focus on defensive line. There's going to be guys out there that could be rotational pieces. I would love Ndamukong Suh to come back. I think he's somebody that would not cost a lot, but another body, aggressive. I like his nature, the way he played, even when he played with the Lions and the Bucks before. So I wouldn't mind having a guy like that at some point in the season to give us some depth as well. But I think there's other guys out there that may not be the top tier guys, but will work well in the rotation like we're going to be doing. We do need that because we need a plan just in case Jordan Davis gets hurt again or someone else on the line gets hurt. We do have some guys available, but again, it's just all about bringing everything together. I'm really excited about what we're going to be this year. I think this is a team that I've been telling people all off season, don't cry for Philly. We're going back to the Super Bowl. And they laugh. You're not going to be laughing for long. And that's the truth.
Yeah, I think I feel a lot better about where this team is heading now than I did a couple weeks ago before all these signings have happened, just because we didn't really know what the plan was at that point in time. And it was some of these signings kind of, filling in these holes that, we were losing players to. I don't know. It seems like there's actually a direction. There's kind of a sense of what we can expect out of this team. And I mean, I don't think the defense is going to be absolutely horrible or anything next year. I think it's going to be maybe not as dominant as it was last year, but I think they're going to be able to get they're going to get a decent amount of stops. It's going to be a solid defense.
Okay, DV, I want you to know, not sleeping on Milton Williams. I expect a lot out of him.
He's going to have to step up.
He was a free agent. But we definitely need everyone that's left on that line to do their thing. Mm-hmm. But we do need to bring in more pieces. We need depth there. I do want to draft a few people, but I want to bring in at least one more, maybe two if the cost is right. Veteran guys to get in that rotation.
Yeah, I think that's the position we really need to focus on. That and just kind of, just more depth as far as like linebackers or safety or something. But yeah, that D line, we need a couple more pieces, most likely through the draft.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely need that. So I kind of answered this question myself already, but I'll ask you guys as well. Do you think we may go out and pick up any more free agencies? Is there anything you're looking at, any position? I want to ask for a specific player because I know that's kind of changing. A lot of the smaller guys are starting to trickle on teams as well. Was there any maybe position or a specific place that you may want us to grab somebody at? All right. And Rod, what's up, Rod Uncensored? Appreciate you hopping on. Check us out too.
Yeah, what's up, Rod?
What up?
I don't know, man. I can definitely see Howie picking up somebody else through free agency. I have no clue where it would be. It's just I have no clue what Howie's going to do at any given time or what he's looking at. You know how he's always looking at who's available, no matter if it's a need of ours or not. He's always checking in on different players out there. So who knows? I can see him getting a deal, either probably a trade. I can see a trade happening with it by the draft or on draft night, similar to last season or two. I don't know. He always has a surprise for us, either like right before the draft or like before the season starts. It feels like.
Diva?
I don't really know. I just hope that he drafts enough depth because depth is important. But I mean, you never know with Howie, and then you never know, who's gonna get hurt in preseason or in summer practice, and you might have to go get somebody before that starts. So I don't know, but I know Howie got some up his sleeve, and I'm ready to see. I mean, you just never know. My most important thing is depth, making sure you have enough depth so when people are getting hurt, you can just cycle them in and know that they're gonna get out there and show you results. That's really what's important to me. I don't care what position you draft, just make sure you got depth.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe go out and maybe try to get like a veteran receiver for that receiver 4. Or if they're trying to replace Quez Watkins, maybe they try to do that through the draft. But maybe like getting a veteran receiver and through free agency somehow. I don't know. I'm not sure who was all out there still or not. I know definitely not Odell. I don't want him on the squad.
Yeah, King DV also says people have to relax. We got CJGJ in August last year and
Yeah.
Joseph mid-season. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always when you're
it's
playing well,
March.
it's always more people you can get, right? But I'm just greedy. Give me like 10 more linemen again. You know what I'm saying? And then Rado says the Patriots are if y'all get Lamar, maybe. But if y'all keep Mac Jones as quarterback.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, if they get Lamar, yeah, hell yeah. Things change like that.
So DV says, will we trade the 30th pick, second round next year for
Ooh.
Jay Simmons from the Titans? So
he's like 25, isn't he? 25 or 26.
I would say no. Key DV says, Rob, what? I would say no. And I'll tell you why I would say no. I would say no because my mind state is we've got Jordan Davis, who's a good young defensive lineman, right? Could you use more? Absolutely. But everybody that you pick up, you have to pay. At some point down the line, if you're going to keep them, you have to pay. We're also talking about draft capital. So we're talking about our 30th pick, which is a first round pick this year, which we could use to draft a defensive lineman or whoever else, and our second round of next year. I'm not saying that he's not worth it, but I'm thinking about the number side of things as well, and other guys that we're going to have to pay the next 2 to 3 years. I really wouldn't want to do it, but I wouldn't be mad if we did it.
That's a perfect way to say it. Yeah, that really is. Because, like, do you take a chance on drafting one of these guys and then you have the cap flexibility over the next 4 or 5 years or whatever, how long it is? Or do you go trade that draft capital and then give up a huge chunk of money signing that guy for on a long deal or something? Because that's a pretty expensive position. Talking about, I mean, he's a high profile player, and I mean, he's just going to keep getting better, especially if you put him on this defense. Those numbers are going to keep going up through each year,
I feel it. And then Rod says Patriots versus Eagles in the Super Bowl next year. So I think
man, I can see
I
one of them.
Think half of those. Yeah, I definitely think half of that's going. If y'all get Lamar, then we'll talk.
Have to get Lamar in that division.
Y'all gotta get Lamar.
Period.
So
Mayo Joe.
Rod is not a fan of what's his name, Mac Jones. I love it. And then King DB says, Rod, stop and get some help. Hey, as long as you're talking about the Eagles in the Super Bowl, we good. I can rock with that.
Yeah,
I definitely can rock with that. It's a little crazy though, but hey, if y'all get Lamar, like I say,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because that could be a game changer for that squad. But y'all got to do something. You got to do something there. Eagles diva, any thoughts?
No, you put it perfectly. I wouldn't trade it right now
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
like
I
I said,
think
if
they
you do it,
have more free agents at the end of 2024.
yeah,
So
that's the thing. And then you got to think about like looming paydays, right?
mm,
Devontae Smith is going to want to get paid in a couple of years. Do you wait till the
Yeah.
last year to pay him? Or, I mean, obviously you can because he's a wide receiver. As long as you're in contact with him, you know what I'm saying? And he feels like he's a good part of the team. He might be good with that. But, you know, you're thinking about this is year 3 for him. So in the next year or two, he's going to have to get paid, right?
Hmm.
Then you think about you got AJ Brown for a couple of years, but that contract's not going to be forever. That's going to come back around. He going to want to get paid. I mean, I think,
Goddard.
yeah, got it.
I mean, we just signed him, but
His
that
signing was like
contract.
what 3-4 years, so that's not taking him to say to the end of his career. So there's a lot of things you have to kind of look at from that side too. So for me, when I look at it, I think if we're playing Madden, right, and somebody sends me the trade that King DV was talking about, yeah, I'll jump all over because it's Madden. I ain't worried about the salary cap at Madden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I turn into the Rams. Like, screw them picks. I don't need them.
right, right. But in the real world, where you got to kind of, it's a tough balance in that. I think it's a good question. I think it's a good guy to think about, but you got to trust the scouting department. But that's also scary if you're an
Mhm.
Eagles fan because we have a history with the scout department. It's not always been pleasant. So
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword for sure.
I don't know.
But
I mean, speaking on like that, I'm hoping with everything we've been hearing out of these interviews, I feel like hopefully there's kind of a change within the organization because I forget was it Jeffrey Lurie he talked about he was talking with Sirianni and Sirianni interviewed like 10 to 15 like outside hires for like coaching staff, like as far as like linebackers coaches and other different coaches, but it seems like he's going through the process of just trying to find the best fit for these positions instead of just looking at who's already within the building. So I mean, it seems like hopefully they're going in the right direction as long as they're picking the right people, but it seems like they're trying to be a little picky on who they find.
there's been a lot of rah-rah positive talk this offseason. Um, I'll be a little leery of that sometimes too. It's just a personality thing. But I'm a
Mhm.
little leery of that. I don't need to hear too much rah-rah now. The rah-rah, we need that when the season starts. Right now, we need to acknowledge, like, yo, season ain't the way we want it. It's tough. It sucks. We got to do
Yeah.
something about it. So, a little bit of both. I feel like it's apropos in the situation. But I definitely do think you're correct, Ryan, in saying that they really are doing a great job of focusing on getting the correct people in for the vision that we have. I think there may have been a point where the vision and the execution were not the same. So I think that's kind of been at least slightly rectified. But at the same time, we gonna see. We gonna see.
Yeah. I like it more because it seemed like over the past like how many years now, it seemed like every season it was always who's going to be promoted within the building to take this spot. It was never like we're actually going out and looking for other coaches and stuff. So I don't know. It seems like we're kind of turning over a new leaf and going with a different direction. So hopefully it works out.
Any thoughts, Eagles diva?
um, no, I mean, just see how it go. Not really. Just see how it go.
True that. True that. I can definitely
And I
feel
didn't get
that.
to talk about it last week, but hopefully we don't get to see him too much. But I really like the signing of Marcus Mariota as the backup.
Yeah, that is one that, yeah, that is a good signing because unlike Gardner Minshew, Mister Porn Stash, um, tight pants, tight
Uncle
shorts,
Rico.
shorts. Yeah, Uncle Rico jorts. Um, he's a guy that has the same style of play. And Gardner Minshew would be fine if he's placed in the correct system. But basically, what we have is a guy that can come in and do the same things. If Marcus Mariota sticks the ball in the running back's gut, you believe he might pull it out and run or throw, or he might hand it to him. If Gardner Minshew or that type of quarterback sticks the ball in the running back's gut, you know darn well that ball is not going to stay with him to run, right? So one of the dimensions is automatically taken away. So this could be a good marriage for both sides. This could be a chance for Mariota to be on a really strong team that could make him possibly win the Super Bowl. This is a chance for us to have a backup that plays the same style as the starter, so nothing has to change if he does need to play, if he's inserted into the game for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So
I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's why I really liked it. Is you're not gonna really have to worry too much as far as the backup having to come in. He's gonna be familiar with that playbook. You're not gonna have to change anything. He should be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I trust him more than drafting somebody or getting a really young guy in here.
Or a really old guy who don't do nothing.
Exactly, just stands there.
Yeah. So Rod on Sensor says, King DV, we only need a QB upgrade because our defense is solid.
Y'all need some weapons too, man. TikTok boy ain't gonna do it.
Some things at wide receiver and tight end are going to be important too, because a lot of those guys are not in your building that were. So we still got a draft, so nobody's complete yet.
Yeah,
nobody's who they're going to be when the season starts. But as of now, I think it's a little bit of homerism there, Rod, and I'm not knocking you for it because
go out and get Lamar.
I'm admittedly a homer.
Go out and get D-Hop. Then you guys compete for that division.
Oh yeah, you first got to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's
tough. Over there.
Be tough. It's gonna be tough. It can be done, but it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm not even gonna comment on that because this is not basketball. Eagles diva.
What's up?
Any thoughts? Anything to do with free agency? Any thoughts on the roster as of now?
No. Just glad, like I said, that we were able to fill those holes because that was really important. I was scared for a minute. I didn't know, what we really were going to look like, especially on the defense. I was like, oh, Lord. But yeah, I mean, Howie did surprise me this time for real. Because sometimes you'd be like, Howie, what are you doing?
Yeah. It seems like he's actually like listening to some of these other coaches and other people within the organization about who to pick up. It's not just the Howie show.
Well,
yeah. Howie can come by the cookout while the cookout is happening. It takes us to go play.
It's the weekly
yeah.
Howie at the cookout update status.
He still can't come in and hang, but he can come by nearer the end of the cookout and pick up his plate.
You need to get like a chart that looks like a cookout, and you need to have like certain levels to it. You're just moving like Howie up and down.
Right.
Yeah, he's there right now. Those who know. You know what I'm saying? He's there now. Those who know.
Howie's at the yellow at the caution, like, all right, bro. Caution.
Look, because a few weeks ago, Howie was maybe or maybe not getting a plate. You might just get like a bun in the corner of mac and cheese that's left, and some potato chips and a hot dog outside the bun.
Yeah, you're getting the overdone hot dog, the corner of the mac and cheese is all crusty.
Yeah, now he back to at least getting a plate, so be happy where you at, Howie. We will see if you stay there or if you go back to that crusty corner. It's all up to you. All right, so King DV and Rod kind of have a little conversation here. So let's talk about that. I love this. So King DV says, Rod, come on, y'all need a lot of help. If Aaron goes to the AFC East and the Bills still there and the Dolphins, yeah, it's gonna be hard for you to get a playoff spot unless you know what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna be like the Commanders last year. It's gonna be hard in that division. Rod says, who is the Eagles starting running back now?
Rashad Penny, or Kenny G maybe. Unless we draft
starting, they don't draft one at 10. Don't want them to, but hey, I trust Howie. I think it's actually going to be Penny that's going to be the starter. My thoughts, because I think if he could be healthy, he's the better back. But I think Kenny G is going to have a big role whether he starts or not. So it's not going to really be who starts. For the Eagles, it's going to be more about this year who plays, right? Who can actually get out in the field and make plays. And I'm getting those vibes from like the Correll Buckhalter years where we had like Buckhalter and another back, he was there for a couple of Westbrook years and everything. So I think you're going to see some of that. Like you're going to have 2-3 guys getting touches situationally in different spots in the game, more so than like 1,000-yard back like they had last year. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen unless Penny comes out and snaps and continues that almost 5 yards to carry that he has so far, which he should be able to do behind his line. And if that happens, he gonna definitely be the big dog.
Yeah. Just don't take him out in red zone situations,
He
please.
definitely needs to be in red zone situations.
Exactly.
And Rod says we're
I
going
don't
to sweep the Jets with A-Rod. Doesn't matter.
Well, first they got to get A-Rod because they said
they got to get A-Rod first.
Like they're going back and forth about how much they want to give and how much to get. So we don't even know.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know about all that.
And Rob's next comment, he says, Patriots are going to blow out the Eagles. So Rob,
saying that?
Whoa.
This right here is just for you.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
I mean, it's okay to troll, but you ain't got to keep saying that, bro. Like,
Hey, lay off the sauce.
Mac and Cheese Jones ain't Thomas Brady, Rod.
So, like,
how you gonna blow out people when that's your quarterback? Like,
and how you gonna be 27-7?
That's wild. 27-7. Are you saying you beat the Eagles 27-7? Because if that's what you're saying, then this is for you too.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Bro,
man.
over there, put it down. Put it down. It's not good for you. Whatever you over there smoking on.
I agree with King DV. He had a brownie. He had a special brownie too.
Yeah.
And he said you only do Crystal on Wednesday. I believe you did that before the show. So we definitely believe that. We definitely believe that.
Yeah, there's sound
Cam
Newton, ain't he? Ain't no third better than me. Like Cam.
There you go. Y'all can get Cam back. Y'all be straight.
Yeah, you can go good old Cam Newton.
Rob's my guy, man. He's a troll, right? He doesn't mean to be, but he's a troll. He's definitely a troll. He's my guy, though. He's my guy. He's an unintentional troll. That's what I was trying to think of. He's an unintentional troll, but he's my guy. Rob's all right with me. Especially since we know these things are not true and they're not going to come to pass. But we do have video evidence of his crystal on Wednesday, so it is what it is. All right, so everyone that's in the chat, as well as my co-host, we're going to now move on to one of the things that we kind of rocking into now. And that's that top 10 list this week. Top 10 cornerbacks in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, whose turn is it to start?
I don't remember who started the last couple times.
Well, let's do it this way. Eagles Diva.
No, why don't you start first?
Yeah, hey, I can start. It's all good.
Go ahead, start us out.
At number 10, I have Darius Big Play Slay.
I do too. I got him at number 10 as well.
Hey, my man be balling. Energy he brings to the team. Definitely an edge. Definitely leadership. He's helped Devontae Smith especially become a much better wide receiver, going head to head with him, talking trash to him, talking trash with AJ Brown in practice, going at those guys. So I love what he's done for the team. And I believe that continuing to play here, he's going to continue to do more. Definitely not the player he was a few years ago, but he's still mentally smart enough. He still has enough talent where he can go out and make things happen. So, yeah. He slides in there barely, but he slides in the top 10.
Yeah, it was like two Pro Bowls in like 3 years.
Right.
I think he has like 7 interceptions in those 3 years as well. I mean, if you look at like the interceptions, it doesn't tell the whole story because Slay, I mean, he is big play Slay, but he's more so of just that lockdown corner. Your number one dude's not going to get very much when you're playing against Darius Slay.
That's as important. Who you got, Eagles deal?
I got Sheldon Brown as my number 10.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So I'll go back to I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna go back to the 1992 draft where they had 10 total rounds and go with the 10th round pick that year. Mark McMillan played 4 seasons with the Eagles, and in those 4 seasons, he did have 8 interceptions.
Okay. That was your number 9.
That was my number 9.
I have Tom Brookshire as my number 9. He played from
Ooh.
1953 to 1961. He had 20 interceptions for
Mhm.
the squad, and he also was part of that championship team as well.
I like. I like. That's the problem. So you can only fit 10 on this list. So there's always some people where you're like, but yeah,
Man,
that's a good one.
there's a couple of them I wanted to slide in here though.
I had to have some battles with myself on who I put in and who I didn't. Who you got Eagles deep at 9?
I got Eric Allen.
Okay.
Hmm.
That was one
Okay.
I was thinking about sliding on the list as well.
You'll definitely see him on my list. All right. At number 8, with 9 seasons on the team, 23 interceptions, first round, 1980. Our pick, Roy Nail Young.
I got him at my number 8 as well.
Okay. Okay.
I have in my number 9. We're number 8 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 8, Lito Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
It's another name you'll be hearing more about later. I guarantee. All right. At number 7, I have Asante Samuel Sr. Played 4 seasons with the Eagles. We signed him in 2008, 23 interceptions. And when we talk about free agent signings at cornerback, this is one of those guys, along with another guy we'll talk about later on my list, that redefined the position for us the time that they were with the team. I wish he would have been with the team longer, but it is what it is. But while he was here, he did what he was supposed to do at our corner.
Yeah. My number 7 here, I have Bobby Taylor. Played with us from 95 to 2003, in which he had 19 interceptions.
I have Jeremiah Trotter.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my boy.
He wasn't a cornerback though, was he?
Yeah. Yeah, he was quarterback.
All right. Number 6, I have Bobby Taylor. Second round pick, 1995, 9 seasons. As why I said 19 picks. Like what he brought physicality wise and leadership wise while he was on the squad. Homegrown guy.
We got number 6.
Yep.
I had Sheldon Brown. We were talking. I think someone already mentioned Sheldon Brown, didn't we?
Yeah.
Someone did, yes, sir.
Yep. 02,
And I
09.
had Asante
19
Samuel
interceptions.
as my number 6.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have Sheldon Brown as my number 5. Second round pick, 2002. 19 picks in 7 seasons. Solid guy. Another category we'll have to do, y'all, is the top 10 duos. And he's definitely going to be on that list as well.
Mm-hmm. My number 5 here, I had Lito Shepherd, who was already mentioned. Played from 02 to 08, 18 interceptions. He also had 3 defensive touchdowns as well. With us.
Mine is Slay. I got Slay a little higher up there. That's my boy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And at number 4, I actually have Lito Shepherd, the other half of that duo with Sheldon Brown. Like you said, first round pick, 2002, same year that we got Sheldon Brown, which is funny because that's probably the last time we drafted 2 quality corners. Back in 2002. But yeah, that's why I got it number 4.
Okay. Number 4, I had Herman Edwards.
Yep, me
Played
too.
77 through 85. Had 33 interceptions. He was also famous for the first miracle with the Meadowlands.
And continuing that trend, I have Herman Edwards at number 3. 9 seasons. He went undrafted in 1977.
Yeah. My number 3, I had him a little higher, but I had Asante Samuel at number 3 here. I mean, he was one of my favorite players at the time. Of course, he had a lot of success prior to coming to the Eagles, but like we already talked about. I mean, I wish we would have been able to keep him around longer, but I mean, he was one of my favorite players at the time, and that's. I mean, it was a couple years after I really got into football, but that's really whenever like my fandom for the Eagles like was really there, and I mean, he was one of my favorite players at the time.
I'm gonna go back 1983, Wes Hopkins.
Okay.
That's a good
11
pick.
years with the Eagles and made the Pro Bowl.
That's a good pick. At number 2, I'm gonna go with the Reverend Troy Vincent. We signed him in 1996.
Yep.
28 picks in 8 seasons with the team. He felt like a guy that was drafted by the Eagles. The way he fit in so well with all those monster defenses we had. That's back when we had the late great Jim Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Good times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had 5 Pro Bowls there too. But yeah, I had Troy Vincent in my number 2 as well.
Me too.
Nice.
Troy's that man.
Do we all have the same number 1? Oh, I guess not. Yeah, I think we both have the same number 1 though.
I believe we. I mean, I'm not gonna say we do, but there's a high probability that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, with my number 1 pick for my top cornerback, this man needs a gold jacket. Not now, right now. Second round pick, 1988, excuse me, 34 interceptions in 7 seasons, Mr. Eric Allen.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have him my number 1 as well, playing under that Buddy Ryan defense.
And that was a sick defense.
Buddy Ryan's defense was.
So, ladies and
Best
gentlemen,
of the best.
That's our list. We got a couple of comments here. So let's see let's roll with this. So Rod has Asante Samuel number 1. Of course he does, because Asante Samuel is what? A former Patriot. Not a shot.
Makes sense.
Says that there. Then he says House Sway. And then he comes back, because again, Crystal Wednesday. Asante Samuel ain't number 1.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm not making any of this up. I'm an imaginative person, but
Tell me some y'all
I'm not making any of
tripping.
this. We're tripping. If you say so, Rod, I'll let you have it, big dog. I'll let you have it. Definitely let you have it. Oh, man. All right, so guys, we got a couple of minutes left here. Anything else Eagles related you guys would like to discuss on the current episode?
Jalen Hurts contract. What y'all think? What's gonna happen?
I think we gotta. Rod says, "Hey, girl, please." Rod, you my guy, man. What we doing here, Rod? What we doing? What we doing? Like, what we doing, man? I think that you got to pay him. The question is, I gotta put this one up.
133 million.
Man, how he's able to pull that off, I mean.
Hey, if you write about that, Rob, I'll make you an honorary Eagles fan. You hear me? If you
help us
say
out
that,
big
and
time
happens,
if that happened.
bruh. But now we know that's not gonna happen. But
Nah.
I think what we can hope for is low guarantees, lower guarantees. I think what's happening is Lamar Jackson is trying to wait for Hurts as well as some of these other guys, like Burrow and Herbert, to get paid. So he's trying to have more comps for the argument for what he wants. I think the thing is we don't really know what Lamar Jackson wants, but I think if we're looking at Hurts, we're thinking he want to be somewhere in a range of like, it depends on the length. My question with Hurts is he a guy that's going to go all in and say, I'll do 8, 9, 10 years like Mahomes did, right? Or is he gonna do like 3, 4, 5? Well, probably not 3, but maybe like 5 years, and then hit the market again. It just all depends on that. Do we have a
Yeah.
guy that has the Tom Brady mentality? Not on the cheating, because we don't want that. Y'all can keep that over there in New England and Tampa Bay, all the cheating and all that. But the one thing that I will always say about Tom Brady, um, hey man, Deshaun Watson would disagree with you, but Lamar Jackson would definitely not. Um, I think it's just a matter of what kind of deal he wants. Once we get an idea of what he signs, we'll get an idea of like if it's I'm gonna do the Tom Brady thing and I'll take less money, um, or renegotiate over time, right? Just so the team can open up more cap space and stay competitive. Or if you're a guy that says, "Hey, I'm out here playing quarterback. I'm getting hit. I'm getting beat up. I'm a running quarterback, so people taking shots at me and all that. I want to get paid." It all depends
Mhm.
on what his mindset is. And the interviews say one thing, but we really will see once he hits that field with that new contract money. That's when we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's hard to tell because it seems like as far as the team, they want to sign him long term, like not just 5 years, but like even longer, like the Pat Mahomes, like you were saying, especially like with the way Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman were talking. Like I think Jeffrey Lurie said like we want to try to keep him around here for a long, long time. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard. I feel to kind of get him to lock down for like 8 years, 9 years. I can see more of like a 5 or 6 year deal happening out of it. Um, I just with the way the players and how things are going, I feel like players want to take kind of a shorter term deal. That way they can hit the market and get that re-up, get that bigger contract out of the way. But I mean, you can always renegotiate, I guess, during these deals. But I mean, that gives the players some flexibility depending on like what's going on in the organization at that point in time, too.
Yeah. Um, I'm just. I feel like they're gonna get it done. You can't keep dragging out, this boy's contract. And I feel like by us making that
Yeah.
cap space and kind of having some of that dead cap space fall off, I think that's gonna really help. I did see an article about how we, being able to push those moves and still being able to pay Jalen what he wants. And I think Jalen feels pretty confident that he's gonna get what he wants. So let's get her done. Just get it done.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they could like somehow like push, like if they do the deal, push most of the money in after next year. Like you can like restructure the contract for next year to give him some like incentives and more and some guaranteed, but try to keep like the next year's contract low for that last year of his rookie deal. And then it'll kick into his new deal.
Yeah, because the thing is, if we don't sign him by next, he's a free agent next offseason because he only has 4 years. So we got to get something done. I would say sometime this year you want to get something done. Um, I think that they've been working toward it, but I think he's maybe saying, let's get everybody else settled. Let's get everything else settled first, and then we can come back to the table and talk. I'm going to be here next year, so it's not like a situation where we don't get something done, I'm about to walk. So
Yeah.
um, it can go either way. I don't want to wait because I feel like if we wait, that's another 5 to 10 million a year. So go ahead
Yeah.
and get it done because it's not going down. The price of these dudes is not going down at all.
Oh yeah. Especially after going to the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, obviously everybody's waiting for like the Burrow numbers and the Herbert, but Burrow went to the Super Bowl. Herbert that can't even make it through the playoffs. Like
I don't see the
Burrow's
numbers
going to
being
be
the
getting
same, right?
closer money to Jalen than Herbert.
Yeah, I think the fight is which one of those guys signs first.
Yeah.
Because if it's going to be, I think, similar contracts. I think lengthwise the Eagles are going to want to do more. I'm pretty sure the Bengals would too because they got 3 wide receivers they're trying to keep.
Yeah.
So
It's
we'll
way
see.
harder for them at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how that plays out. But yeah, any final thoughts, guys, on our
Man.
episode for the day?
I'm ready for this draft to get closer, man. I'm ready to like get in some draft talk. I need to start doing some more research on the draft, but I'm excited to see who we take or see if there's some like surprise moves too.
Yep. And also, we're doing a live draft day one coverage on the Play Call Sports Talk show channel, playcallsportstalk.com/live. Wyatt, Eagles Diva, if y'all would like to come on and do the draft with us,
Absolutely.
feel free to come on. But yeah, we'll be covering the whole first round of the draft. So reactions, thoughts for everything that's happened. We'll have some people on for different teams. And of course, the Eagles pick comes around. Those two picks will be a little nervous, maybe relieved afterwards. I may turn off my camera. It all depends on what happens.
We're in better days as far as the franchise. We don't have to worry about this stuff anymore.
What was that? Because I know it's that, and he ain't going nowhere, and he ain't coming to Philly for sure.
Nah, I ain't worried about him.
Hey, Rod, man. Yo, I love the last one night, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. It's been a tough day to get there, Rob.
Rod out of pocket tonight.
Yeah, way out of pocket.
Hey, man. It's funny, though. Like, I love it, bro. I love it, man. But I just want to say this to Rod. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Get some what the Rock is cooking.
Vintage Rock.
And you smell it.
Yeah. Only one thing left to do. We made it to the top. Now we just need to win the damn thing.
Gotta finish it out. But hey, everybody that watches live, everybody that sees the replay, definitely appreciate it. Please subscribe. Like it says on the bottom, like, share, subscribe, share, like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Bring a friend. Bring one or two or three. Bring 10.
Exactly.
Be elite.
2 or 3 of your friends, and then 2 or 3 of your enemies, because just because they don't like you doesn't mean they won't like us. And with that, we're going to roll out for the show for this week. But again, appreciate everybody that sees live, everybody that sees the replay. Hop in the comments, send us some messages. We got the YouTube popping. You can always hop in the community. Anything you want us to discuss, Eagles related, let's get it. Let's have fun. Let's make it more interactive. And let's wild out, because you know what we do. And with that being said, hashtag Fly Eagles Fly, hashtag Be Elite. We're going to catch y'all next week.
Good night, y'all.
Sure.
Have a good one.
Flag.
The kick is away, and the kick is it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.